and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today and on my channel. I really appreciate you being here. I'm part of this conversation. I really value your time, so I really do value that you've chosen to spend, you know, a little bit of your day here. And also, if you want an update on the jet lag situation that's going on, I, was recently in America and I've been very much so struggling when coming back. Normally I can snap out of jet lag like that. This is the first time I've not been able to do that, and I really felt like I had it under control today, and I have a great update for you. I slept, but not at good times, so it's not a good update, and I'm just trying to be positive. I slept from 12 p.m. until 2 a.m. So it is now 4 a.m. and I'm working on my first video of the day, and I've just woken up, and someone commented and was like, hey, like, do your dogs like not wake you up? Because if you know, I have Bonnie and Dolly, and you know, the cats. Here's the thing, I'm awake then from like 4 a.m. until, that time that I go to bed, and the dogs sleep in the bed with me. I know a lot of people don't do that if they have dogs. I really don't care. I've always been brought up in a way that the dogs are such a part of the family. I have a lot back home. My dogs sleep in the bed with me, and whenever they are on that bed, they will not get up unless I get up, because it's so comfortable and they just value that time. So if I'm in that bed and I'm not moving, they will not move as well. So that's the update on the jet lag for you. It's going absolutely awful, and I'm really nervous because I have Dua Lipa concert today, today. I have the Dua Lipa concert in London today, Monday, and also tomorrow, Tuesday, and I can't go to sleep now because I will sleep through the concert because it's in London, and I have to travel to London tomorrow midday to get to the concert because it's, inside of London. I'm not in London. So if you see my videos at the Dua Lipa concert, if I make it there, on my social medias, my Instagram and Twitter is the Adam McIntyre, TheAdamMcIntyre. If you see my posts on social medias, just know that I'm probably dying inside of tiredness, but I'm there for the vibes. Okay, now let's finally get to the video. I just have so much to talk to you because I haven't had any human interaction because I've been sleeping on such a bad schedule. I'm going fucking insane. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Gabbie Hanna today. Gaga Hanna. She has been exposed by Joey Graceffa. Now, Joey went on the Manny MUA and Laura Lee podcast, which, by the way, that podcast is great. I really don't have an opinion on both Laura Lee and Manny MUA. Manny MUA has been really polite to me on social media before. We've occasionally talked, and Laura Lee I've never really had any, talking to, but they've both been really nice to me, and they were involved in drama years and years ago, and they mentioned that briefly here, like making a joke about, oh, we've never been in drama, to Joey, because they asked him, has he ever been involved in drama? On their podcast, and Joey immediately starts talking about the Gabbie Hanna situation. Now, if you're aware or if you're not, Gabbie Hanna had that series. Do you remember the Manic series that she had on her YouTube channel where she was exposing everything and everyone who had ever done her wrong? So Joey Graceffa and Escape the Night, which is Joey's show, was one of those people, and Gabbie just went in on him. And the second that she made that video exposing Escape the Night, this was something that she was, teasing and building up, and it's coming, I have so much to say, you will not want to know the truth, and I'm going to expose it all. Whenever she made the video, then she basically talked about the fact that it was a bad work environment, that she felt like she was the odd one out, which is so ironic, you know what I mean? There's all these people there, but of course Gabbie's the one that feels left out, and of course Gabbie's the one that they don't like, and he just said that it was Gabbie said it was extremely unprofessional, amongst other things. And one thing I do want to say before we get to what Joey has to say about her, it's actually really good what he says and the conversation that they have. I want to know if you want us to revisit the Gabbie Hanna series, because it has been wiped from the internet. Gabbie made sure to wipe that shit from the internet. I'll obviously still be able to find it, but it was wiped from the internet, and we never ever reviewed, reacted to it on my channel because there were so many different episodes of it, so many on Trisha, so many on other different YouTubers. We never really reacted to it. We kind of just briefly talked about it, and I would love to dive more into it because I'm telling you right now that Gabbie said that it was an unprofessional work environment. She hated it and all like this, but I know that her video was 40 minutes, so she obviously said more than that as well, but I honestly just can't remember. So let's get into what Joey has to say about her. So this is on the Full Coverage podcast, full spelled F-O-O-L, which is actually a clever name, and I'm so glad to see a podcast that isn't just called T-Spill or Spilled, and that's That's not me shading the drama channel T-Spell because that's actually one I love so much, but I'm talking about the fact that the drama channels were here first, having those names like T-Spell and Spell Session, stuff like that, and then people like Ryland Adams come along after making fun of drama channels and name their fucking podcast the exact same name as like T-Spell and Spell Session like this, and they call us the uncreative ones. So I'm so glad to see someone in the beauty space have a podcast that doesn't completely rip off a name from a drama channel. So it says, Escape the Night, What Really Happened, featuring Joey Graceffa. This was uploaded only a few days ago, actually, and I have the timestamp here where they asked Joey about what happened between him and Gabbie and his opinion, and he really gets into it, and I love the conversation that's happening here, and I also love Laura Lee's dress. She looks beautiful.
It's okay. Are you ready for the next question?
Here we go.
Ready? So, Joey, have you as two rookies ourselves.
Two what?
Rookies. Not rookies. No, what's it called when you're like
rookie?
Veterans, my bad. As two veterans ourselves. Have you ever had to deal with drama?
Isn't she so beautiful?
We haven't, so we were just
So
wondering.
we haven't, so we're just curious.
About drama, obviously making a joke.
We've never.
Oh my God.
We've never had to we just want to know what it's like.
We would have you been through?
We've just never had to.
Yeah, I mean, summer was iconic.
It was, Joey. It was iconic. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. When Gabbie Hanna did that expose video, like her version of the expose, what was going through your mind?
What you were
I want to know what was going on through your fucking mind.
Okay, so
I need true tea.
I had an inkling that it was coming because she posted on her like Patreon or something like the list of people she was coming after. So
now here's the thing as well, what Joey's saying here is absolutely correct, and what he's saying is bringing me back to that time because it was a very dark time. It was like Gabbie Hanna was like ruling the internet but not ruling it. It was just we were so like absorbed by what she was putting out. She did like basically on her Patreon, you have to pay to see, she was leaking the information that she was going to talk about on her YouTube, and she was like putting the episodes out in advance, and one of them was about Joey and Escape the Night. So yeah, you know the way, I don't know, this may be like really niche, not a lot of people might know about it, but I feel like a lot might. Very pop culture. Does anyone know about Lindsay Lohan's The List? It was basically a list that was leaked from Lindsay Lohan. People were like cleaning out her room or something, or it was in her handbag, or whatever the context was. It was a list that Lindsay Lohan had of every single man that she's ever slept with. The list is iconic, but it was a list of that. That is always what Gabbie's list of who she was going to expose reminded me of. So if you're aware of that pop culture moment, maybe Google it and you'll see like the list. Doesn't it just give you like Gabbie Hanna, like who she's going to expose on her YouTube, but it was just like Trisha and like 3 other names like back to back.
So
what?
Escape the Night was like one of the things that she was going to talk about. And so I knew it was coming and I was like, I don't know when it's going to be. It was like a few days after I landed in London. I was actually on a
I'm going there later. I'm so excited.
when someone texted me that she posted the video. And I was like,
sir,
I was like, I gotta go.
So sorry,
I gotta go. And so I went back to my apartment.
Were you raging?
Yeah.
So it happened. So you were on a date and then you got a text.
Wait, if anyone knows anything about Joey Graceffa, no shade, just don't hear about him anymore. I remember he had like moved to London. Was that him who had like moved to London? Maybe he was only doing it for like 6 months because it would make sense now on why he's back in LA. Did that like not work out? I feel like he really fits in London because he like really tried to emulate that like British guy like gamer content for quite some time, which is very popular, especially here in Brighton. All of those Minecraft streamers, if you love them, by the way, I know there's like a weird crossover in my audience because once I met Tommy Innit, who is a Minecraft streamer, I met him in Asda beside my apartment once. I was leaving for LA the next day and I went in at like 11:50 p.m. like right before it closed, and him and his friends were there, and I went up to him and I was like, hey, like it's so good to see you and stuff like that. We have like some mutual friends that I've heard stuff about, like all positive stuff about them before, so I felt like I could go up and say hello, and he was so nice, and he's so young as well, and he got a photo and he talked and stuff, and that was like one of the only times I've met him. However, all of these Minecraft streamers, if you want like a little bit of insight, I don't know which ones, but whenever I moved into my apartment, I said about the fact that my landlord told me that, oh my god, you do YouTube, there's other YouTubers who live in your apartment block. Turns out it's the Minecraft streamers, so just a little bit of fun gossip.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I was like trying to concentrate.
So anyway, I was asking, is Joey still in London or no? Sorry, tangent.
And I couldn't. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like I was just getting so
worked up.
Yeah.
You get
I'm a
so
Taurus. I had Taurus rage.
Okay.
So it builds up, and so it was like a long time coming.
I fucking hate that. And I know that there's probably a lot of you like that, that say what Joey has just said. This is so unrelated, me being nitpicky. You know when someone like does something and then it's like, oh, I did that because I'm a Libra, like that's what I am. Or I did that because I'm Sagittarius. I have no problem, and I kind of think it's actually cute and endearing when someone says that. However, I've met so many people in my life who have ended their friendship with me because they said that I found out that you were a Libra. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? Or I had a friend whenever I was living in Derry, broke up with her boyfriend because she was like, it was like our star sign or our moon sign doesn't like get on together. Like she wasn't saying that they didn't get on together. She said that she googled that the star signs didn't get on together. And I was like, what is wrong with you? So whenever I hear people talking about this, I hope that it's like the cute, endearing, like, oh, personality, and not like, I hate people hear this. But anyways, maybe that's just me.
Because obviously, like, I had a lot of feelings towards her that I've been keeping in all these years. And finally it was like, okay, she wants to open this gate. Let's open this gate.
If the floodgate is open.
And it seemed that every single person that she spoke about did open that floodgate. From Trisha to Joey to Jessie Smiles. That was the most explosive one. Everyone was like, bitch, you want to go? We'll fucking go.
Opening.
So I like started like instantly tweeting. I was like, I think I said like,
great
something
teeth.
along the lines of, she wants to start, let's go bitch, or something like that.
I saw you did.
Yeah, I was.
I honestly can't even
Did you
remember.
tweet that day?
Immediately, right when she posted the
Immediately.
video, I was like, oh,
Like,
she wants to
let's do it.
start, let's go.
You're like, so let's fucking fight right
Yeah,
now.
literally, because
Yeah.
I'm like,
I also feel like Gabbie made this video on Joey exposing Escape the Night because Joey is kind of known as being very, no offense, passive and, you know, not involved in drama. So the fact that Joey immediately responded in doing that, I don't think Gabbie expected that. Joey's video got millions of views. Gabbie's original video got maybe a couple 100,000 views, filled with dislikes, filled with hate. Joey's all support. YouTubers were literally tweeting the support of Jeffrey. Rosanna Pansino, who they talk about now, who is never involved in drama, never speaks up against people, immediately after Gabbie's video was posted, before Joey had ever interacted with it, was exposing Gabbie for being a nightmare on set too. So unproblematic YouTubers were coming out of like their graves to literally just like attack Gabbie, and it was all deserved, by the way.
I'm all like,
You were
full
like,
of
you were
adrenaline.
literally, your skin
I
was
bet your
boiling.
heart was just like pumping.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah, I was just like watching the video and just like yelling at my screen like, oh my god, like,
You're like,
Liza Minnelli.
Yes, yes.
And I was just like, oh my god, she's twisting the truth. And I was so scared because she's very good at manipulating. Like she's good at it. Like she's so good at like making you feel bad for her. That I was
She's a storytime YouTuber. That's her entire thing. Manipulation.
like, oh my god, okay.
Looking at you, Tana.
Hopefully people aren't going to like believe her, but like I can see why they would because she's so convincing.
Right.
And so I was freaking out. I was already like planning like my response before I could even say anything. Miss Rosanna Pansino,
She went off.
Rosanna
She
doesn't
went
speak
full-
up
she
either.
don't do that. She
doesn't
don't do
speak
that.
up.
without I didn't
She
even
went off
ask
on Twitter.
Ro anything. Like I didn't talk to Ro anything, and I saw that she tweeted, and I was like, oh my god, like if anyone from the cast could have said anything, but coming from Ro, it was
She's
so much more effective.
Yeah.
It's like so like it's her because it's like such a reliable.
Yeah.
She doesn't get into drama with anyone. She's not problematic in any way she performed.
She was
It's
there.
comfortable.
She
was there.
saw everything. I mean, she made it further than Gabbie, and so she witnessed more things than even I witnessed because of the trailers that they shared, the makeup stuff.
Oh, right.
So she went in and totally just. It was like I didn't even have to do anything at that point.
You didn't have to.
That's
But I
awesome.
still wanted to share my side of the story because she was coming for me, and like
And
I'm not
Escape
just a
the Night.
YouTuber.
Right, of
like
course.
I am a producer. This is my
Yes,
show.
it's
Like
a show.
professional.
Oh my god, stuff is coming back to me now. So Gabbie also said that they were like refusing to make clothes that fit her, but in actuality she didn't show up for the fittings on time. Apparently she didn't show up to like the shooting whenever they were all together, like when they were like doing like photo shoots and stuff for like VidCon, she didn't show up to it. She wanted to be in the studio instead of filming the show or something like that. so she wasn't showing up on time for that as well. She kept changing her dietary needs even though she hadn't given them in advance, and then she was saying that they were triggering her so much. Yeah, she's deranged. She's scary.
Personally, this is what I want to be doing.
Yeah.
And so for her coming at me with my set that represents me as a creator, I was like, oh no, like I need to
nip
clear
this,
this up.
clear the name.
You need to clear the air. How was the response for you, like on your socials? Like, was it like,
oh my god,
this is insane? Or,
it
like,
was.
Was it like? Cause I felt like it got wild.
Yeah, it was a lot of support, and it was weird because I felt bad for Gabbie at the same time.
I felt bad for the same time.
Because, yeah,
I
it's
did.
like
you know I love you more than anything, and
Yeah.
I'd only heard good things from Escape the Night.
Yeah.
You know,
And I
I
literally
support
know Escape the
you.
Night.
But you know what it's like to get that hate.
I know
Yes.
what it's like.
My thing in that is I can see where they're coming from, but Gabbie made this video purposely trying to get Joey the hate, but the hate just came to her instead. So like, she was trying to set Joey up to get the hate that she ended up receiving in the moment. So how can you feel bad for her? Sorry.
To get that kind of hate and have videos made about you with my hands tied behind my back and me feeling enraged and like wanting to do something.
Yeah. The thing with Gabbie is like, we were friends.
Yeah.
And like, there's still a part of me that really cares about her. Like, I still see
I
videos
like
of her and I'm like,
Gabbie
I
too,
don't
a
know,
little.
like,
I mean, I do.
A little.
Like, I want to like maybe mend this relationship in the future.
Oh,
but,
that's
but the
amazing,
thing
Joey.
is, I don't know if she would ever get to the place where
I think she
could
would.
apologize.
I think Gabbie. Well, I think it's gonna take time, but I see Gabbie. I think she's gonna get there. I think she's gonna apologize.
I don't know. It's that's the part that's.
But would you listen to it? Her purpose in this was trying to ruin Joey's reputation, but also like shut down Escape the Night.
So frustrating because we had a text conversation.
Like if she was successful, would they still have the same opinion of, oh, we'll like forgive her and stuff? No.
Years before this happened, where like I confronted her, and it was the most like exhausting thing to just get her to understand where she went wrong. And so like still for her to like continue this, but yeah, like I still see videos of her and I'm like, oh, like I miss her because there's like there is a part of her that is really good.
Yes.
There is.
A very small part.
I've had good interactions with Gabbie.
Like she's a good person, but there's just something that it's hard for her to wrap her mind around her being in the wrong.
Yeah.
And if she can come around to that, like she could have ended this so quick if she just admitted her faults and moved on.
And said, I'm sorry, and moved on. Whenever I went through my drama, oddly enough, Gabbie Hanna was one of the few influencers that would talk to me.
Yeah,
same with
and
me.
she actually was, she didn't condone what went wrong, but she was there for me. So, like, in that way, I just see.
Okay, but is that Gabbie Hanna trying to confront someone, or is that Gabbie Hanna just trying to go against what's popular, which was hating Laura Lee so that she would get more attention for being against the side of what people are actually on? Because she's done that frequently.
Good. I do see good in Gabbie, and then I've sat back and watched all this.
Or it might just be the good in her, you know what I mean? Could be either or.
So it's like one of those things where it's
But
like,
I've never been a Gabbie basher because she's never come for me. And if anything, when I was in a dark time when no one would be there for me, oddly enough, there was Gabbie Hanna. So that's why I'm always like you, because you knew her so well, you have a soft spot for her.
We actually we have similar histories with our parents, like
I know that.
parents with like drug abuse. So we connected on that level, and like we had so many heart to hearts. Even like during all her scandals, like I was there to support her and stuff, like behind the scenes. So like we did have a strong connection, but that's
listen, they're way better than me because they're saying that, you know, they had all these heart-to-heart moments, you know, they were there for each other, it was a true friendship, but at the end of the day, she tried to shut down your production, your baby, and also tried to ruin your reputation when you're never involved in drama. You know what? Y'all are better than me. Y'all are better than me.
why I think it hurt me so much on Escape the Night is because like she's making
like you're a good friend. Like you're a good friend to her.
Like why are you doing this?
And I know that hurt. I know that hurt.
Yeah. Like I'm supposed to be your friend and you're making this hell for me. Like, please just stop.
Yeah.
I mean, as someone that I was on Escape the Night personally, like it was such a great experience, and I did definitely like. I'm not over here bashing Gabbie, but I definitely did speak up and was like, as someone who was on the skip tonight, I definitely tweeted about it too. I was
Well, the amount of people who were in the cast were all saying that they had nothing but pleasant experiences with it. So, I mean, yeah, you know what I mean? It's not unnatural that maybe someone will have a bad experience on it, but, you know, a couple people will probably have it. It isn't just one person being, you know, bullied or whatever like that, especially when there's so many people there to witness it, and they've been friends and supporting each other years after the filming of it. It was just Gabbie having a switch and changing on them, switching up.
I had the most amazing experience with Daniel.
For attention.
And it was so good, and it was such a positive experience for me that I didn't want it to be like tainted from anyone's like. And like, listen, that could be her experience for sure, but if the vast majority is positive, then like you want that to be the forefront. It's not like that. It was like the outlier experience. It wasn't like what it actually was, and that's why you had so many people that were like, "No, I actually had an amazing time." Yeah, because you guys literally did bend over backwards for us.
Did, yeah.
I mean, hello. It's also like it's a bunch of like bigger creators. They're also all your friends, and you want like it's a production though. At the end of the day, it's not like it's like the small thing. You guys escaped tonight. For those who don't know, escaped tonight. Joey. It was Joey's show.
How many seasons was it? It was a lot. Four seasons.
4 seasons. So it was his show, and it's like big production value. It's not like a small.
It's a real show filming. Like this is a real deal, and it's a real set.
Millions of
dollars going into it, and extremely tons amount of workers going.
All right, and then they talk about the show, but I really did just want to focus on that previous part. All right, what I'm saying here is, it's insane to think about the fact that Gabbie did just switch up on so many of her friends, like public friends, maybe even private. Joey saying that they had all them conversations, you know, in private as well. Listen, I don't mean to reiterate, but they are better than me with their like, you know, we'd be willing to hear her out, and you know, if she would be willing to apologize, and we'd love to be friends again. I don't know how you could trust someone like that. I don't know if I've just been done so dirty in my life that I'm not that accepting of people again. It's kind of like, if you fuck me over once, okay. If you fuck me over twice, then I just, you're out. Is no one else like that? Am I just like a bitch? I just couldn't be bothered to be hurt by the same people again. So, I mean, they're better than me. They're better than me. But what did you think about Joey speaking up about this? And also Manny and Laura. If you watch their... What did I just drop? If you're watching their podcast, what do you think of it, by the way? And yeah, I love you. Thank you for watching this video. And I will see you later. I will probably be passed out at the Dua Lipa concert. Bye.